For more than 1,000 years, one empire dominated continents, shaped civilizations, and forever changed the course of history. Its roads stretched across thousands of miles. Its armies were virtually unbeatable. Its laws continue to influence nations to this day. But how did a small village on the banks of the Tiber River become the greatest power of the ancient world? And how did an empire that seemed invincible eventually collapse? Today, you'll follow that entire journey, from the legendary founding of Rome to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. Prepare to discover epic battles, legendary emperors, betrayals, conquests, and the slow decline of one of history's greatest civilizations. If you enjoy history, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's begin this incredible journey through time. According to tradition, the story of Rome begins in 753 BC. Legend tells of twin brothers, Romulus and Remus, who were abandoned as infants and rescued by a she-wolf that nursed them. After growing up, they decided to found a new city. But a dispute between the brothers ended in tragedy. Romulus killed Remus and became the first king of Rome. Although this story blends myth and reality, it symbolizes the birth of a city destined for greatness. During its early centuries, Rome was nothing more than a small agricultural community. Its people lived by farming, raising livestock, and trading with neighboring peoples. Little by little, the city expanded. Its strategic location encouraged trade and allowed it to control key routes across the Italian peninsula. In 509 BC, the Romans decided to abolish the monarchy. Thus, the Roman Republic was born. Power was no longer concentrated in the hands of a single king but was instead shared among magistrates, senators, and popular assemblies. Although not all citizens enjoyed equal rights, this system strengthened Rome politically. While other cities struggled with internal conflicts, Rome continued expanding its influence. It first conquered nearly the entire Italian peninsula. Then came the Great Wars against Carthage. These conflicts became known as the Punic Wars. Rome's greatest enemy was Hannibal. His army crossed the Alps accompanied by massive war elephants. It was one of the most remarkable military campaigns of the ancient world. For years, Rome suffered devastating defeats, but its ability to rebuild and reorganize its armies was extraordinary. In the end, the Romans emerged victorious. Carthage was completely destroyed. From that moment on, Rome became the dominant power of the Mediterranean. New territories were conquered across Greece, Hispania, North Africa, and the Middle East. Immense wealth flowed into the Republic. Trade flourished. Cities expanded rapidly. But success also brought new challenges. Social inequality increased. Small farmers lost their lands. Hundreds of thousands of enslaved people performed much of the labor. Meanwhile, military generals accumulated ever greater political power. It was in this environment that Julius Caesar rose to prominence. A brilliant military strategist, he conquered Gaul and became immensely popular. His victories alarmed members of the Senate. Fearing that Caesar intended to become king, a group of senators organized a conspiracy. On March 15, 44 BC, a day remembered as the Ides of March, Julius Caesar was assassinated inside the Senate. His death plunged Rome into another civil war. After years of conflict, Octavian emerged victorious. He was later granted the title Augustus. The Roman Empire was officially born. Augustus reorganized the government, strengthened the army, and brought stability to the empire. A long period known as the Pax Romana had begun. For nearly 2 centuries, Rome experienced relative internal peace. Roman roads connected thousands of cities. Goods moved quickly across the empire. Soldiers guarded its frontiers. Aqueducts carried fresh water into growing urban centers. Amphitheaters welcomed tens of thousands of spectators. The Colosseum became one of the greatest symbols of Roman engineering. There, gladiatorial contests, wild animal hunts, and spectacular public shows entertained the crowds. Meanwhile, Roman architects built magnificent bridges, temples, and monuments. Roman law established legal principles that continue to influence modern legal systems. Latin spread across vast regions of Europe. At the same time, Roman culture absorbed traditions from the many peoples it conquered. Even at the height of its power, new challenges began to emerge. The empire's borders had become enormous and increasingly difficult to defend. Numerous peoples constantly pressured its frontiers. At the same time, economic crises weakened the imperial administration. Emperors increasingly fought one another for power. Many ruled for only a few months before being overthrown or assassinated. During the 3rd century, Rome faced a deep political, economic, and military crisis. In an attempt to solve these problems, Emperor Diocletian divided the administration of the empire. Later, Constantine introduced major reforms. He also founded a new capital. Constantinople became one of the most important centers of the ancient world. During this period, Christianity was no longer persecuted and continued to gain influence. While the Eastern Empire remained relatively strong, the Western Empire suffered from increasing instability. Attacks by Germanic peoples became more frequent. The Visigoths, Vandals, Suebi, and Huns constantly pressured the empire's frontiers. In 410 AD, Rome was sacked by the Visigoths. The psychological impact was enormous. The city, once considered eternal, had proven it was no longer invulnerable. Decades later, further invasions worsened the situation even more. The economy collapsed. The army lost its effectiveness. Imperial authority weakened rapidly. Finally, in 476 AD, the young Emperor Romulus Augustulus was deposed by the Germanic leader Odoacer. Traditionally, this event marks the fall of the Western Roman Empire. However, the eastern half continued to exist for nearly 1,000 more years as the Byzantine Empire. Even after its fall, Rome never truly disappeared. Its language gave rise to many modern languages. Its legal system continues to influence courts around the world. Its architecture still inspires cities today. Its engineering remains admired. Its military organization transformed the strategies of warfare. Its culture shaped the development of Western civilization. Few societies have left such a profound legacy. The story of Rome shows that no empire lasts forever. Even the greatest powers can rise, dominate the world, and eventually fall into decline. Perhaps it is precisely this combination of glory, power, innovation, and fragility that makes the Roman Empire one of the most fascinating stories ever experienced by humanity. If you enjoyed this journey through history, leave a like, share this video with anyone who also loves history, and subscribe to the channel for many more documentaries like this. See you in the next video.